I've had this idea for a painting that would really transport the viewer. A painting where the viewer could feel as if they are in the room with the subject, about to experience what she's going to experience. Welcome! I'm starting a new painting today on this canvas, which is also happens to be the same color as my wall. And this is my reference, and the mirror and everything. I think it's gonna be a cool painting, moody. I was hanging out with my sister one day in her room, and she has some books next to her bed on this wooden table with a mirror above it, and she also has some antique candle holders around. I wasn't trying to come up with an idea at that moment, but it just really looked interesting to me, and I thought it would just make a really nice, warm painting. The glow of the candles illuminating off her face and her reflection in the mirror, and I got to work. Okay, so I finished sketching it out and I'm gonna start painting. I'm gonna use the Zorn palette again because especially since it's in low lighting, I don't need as many vibrant colors, so the Zorn palette's gonna be perfect for that. I was feeling lazy here and I couldn't be bothered to put down some plastic, so I just painted directly on my rug, and I also ruined my reference in the process, but on the bright side, I got it done with minimal effort. Now, I feel like I cannot adequately convey to you how much I dislike painting backgrounds. And this is also the reason why I want to start painting looser in my next paintings, because everything has to be blended just right this way, and it takes way longer to do. It's also very frustrating. Oh, dang it! And people keep saying, oh, painting's so therapeutic, and yes, it could be, but most of the time, it's just really stressful. I don't know if that just applies to me, but yeah, I need to start painting more loosely. The book was pretty fun to paint, except that it was wet when I tried to paint the words on it, and so I had to balance my hand with my other hand so that I wouldn't smudge the paint everywhere. Also, I was so impressed with myself that I was able to fit all the words inside the gold outline without tracing or anything. I was trying to do calculations in my mind, every letter that I did, to see if I was gonna have enough space, and it turns out that I did, so I was amazed at that. Then for one of the more difficult parts, I blocked in the major shapes of the hand, and then I went in with a smaller brush and added all the details. And I'm always happy when I finish a hand or a face, because it's like I have to prove to myself that I can sort of paint. When I'm not actively painting, I kind of question my abilities. And faces for me always start out looking very wonky and sometimes a little scary. So it's kind of an intimidating process for me, but luckily this one came out looking like my sister in the end. Here I am blending, blending, blending some more with a little tiny brush. It took me like a whole day to do this. So much blending, so much going over like, oh, maybe a millimeter more here, less there, until finally you realize, oh, it looks like the person I'm trying to paint. I really love the fact that I chose to paint this on the floor because being able to feel your legs and walk on command is very overrated. I just finished the face, which took me quite a while. The photo was kind of fuzzy, so there were no harsh lines, which kind of makes it harder. Like if you see here, the mouth doesn't actually have any clear borders. It's kind of just like a blur. So I did that about 3 or 4 times until I feel like I was happy with it. And I wanted it kind of like dreamy, a little blurry, not super clear, so I'm happy with how it came out. Now I need the frame to blend in the face too, and the shirt and everything. I liked that the color of the books in the background were kind of a beige or neutral tones to really help the Love Poems book to really stand out. I kept putting off painting the mirror because I was dreading it so much. I knew that there was going to be a lot of thin lines and I wasn't sure if I could add all the detail that is in the actual mirror. And I kind of wung it and painted different values of lines until it kind of looked realistic. And then I added little tiny lines all around to give the effect of the detailed border. And the first attempt at the bow design at the top turned out looking like cobblestone, which is what my sister told me. And I couldn't help but agree, so I had to redo that. Also, look at this absolutely perfect line I just painted for the candlestick. That was very satisfying, as was the little highlights at the base, which really made it look like gold. I also had lots of fun painting the porcelain candle holder. Now, remember what I said about painting backgrounds being my favorite part of any painting? Well, I had to do this 4 times over. The first time I did it with this neutral beige color, and I thought that the gold might pop better with a cooler gray color, so I painted it gray. And then I thought, you know what? I think it would be even better if it's a little bluer. So I did that, which was the 3rd time, and keep in mind each time takes me a few hours. And then I realized that I didn't like the blue. It was too blue. So then I had to repaint that and go with the second color I had chosen after all. I mean, see, this looks too vibrant. I mean, I don't know. So I had to redo it so many times, but I'm glad it's over. And the painting looks better, in my opinion. The gold frame pops better, as do the candle holders. So I don't know. I don't know if it was worth it to paint it so many times, but I hope I'd never have to do that again. However, I have absolutely no complaints about the candles themselves. They were super fun to do. I liked adding the super vibrant color at the very top where the flame was glowing, as well as adding the wax strips on the sides. And this candle at the bottom was actually a light blue in the photo, and I decided that there was too much blue already, so I changed it to green to add a little bit of variety. The reflections that appear on the taller candle from the light being given off from the candle at the bottom was one of my favorite final touches to add. It really made the whole environment feel like it was being illuminated by these two candles. And here it is. I'm really glad that I changed the background color. I think it completely changed it for the better. And the candles look so cool. It really feels like it's glowing, which is exactly what I was wanting for this painting. I also love how vibrant the Love Poems book came out. I think it really draws your focus there. I think the narrative is interesting and it really captures the feeling that I wanted it to have. And I hope you guys agree. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time.